Hey guys, Sklar Brothers here with Dan Van Kirk, and
Hi,
we've
everybody.
got
Matt Walsh
from Veep. He is on Dumb People Town this week, and the riffing is fantastic. Tune in, check it out, enjoy it. If you've ever asked yourself, how much Taco Bell can I get for a blowjob? We answer that question.
Or how much a blowjob will get you in Taco Bell.
In Taco Bell, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out.
Yeah.
On this week's Dumb People.
Surprising answer too, by the way.
Very surprising.
Very surprising.
Also, Christiane Amanpour. Kidding, she's not on the show.
Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait.
You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march. We'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for a clue, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing. ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including the tour in Australia and Harmon Country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. Everything is a taste treat.
Feral Audio.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to Meltdown Comics in Hollywood, California, the Nerdist Theater. Harmontown is now in session. Do we have a Spencer Crittenden among us? There he is. Spencer Crittenden! And just to keep things rolling, let's bring out the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Casey Rupp. So important that he or she has to have two. I know Casey. I heard somebody say, "Who is she?" in the crowd, and it's funny when you know the gender of somebody, and then you hear someone. Yeah, they don't know. What do you?
I'm just waving to the people in the front row.
What's
we got Dave Klein and Leah are wearing matching schmatas right now. You guys want to get up and show the crowd this? You guys, are you in love? What's going on here? Are you guys? Let's see. Yeah, this is very nice. Yeah, they both have kind of a Vincent Van Gogh, Starry Night kind of thing happening. You got presents? Oh, she's reaching into her purse. This looks like some illicit action going on here.
This is a couple made of Harmontown regulars.
Can I ask? Can I inquire? Has this become a romance between you two? Yeah. All right. Oh shit.
Jeff, just to answer you,
Yep. Thank you. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Did you guys just go to Disneyland? Yeah. I got it. She gave me a Mickey Mouse pin, which I adore. I love all things Disneyland. Woo. Oh, look at you, little lovebirds. All right, sit down.
All right. Well, Dave Klein, what were you going to say? You look like you had something to say.
Just wanted to give a shout out to Vinnie Van Gogh and also a top-notch handkerchief fine art game they got up at the Getty Center. You got great fine art prints on some top-notch silk scarves.
Here. Enter the code YUP for a 20% discount.
he just becomes like this corrupt cottage industry. Nike's coming out with the new Yuppies.
We should do that. Like, now that we're occasionally doing ads, we should have some of our Harmonians get up and do some of our spots for us.
Sure, if you have $50,000, we'd be happy to plug your Etsy with the same vigor as we do MeUndies. Cody just texted me before the thing, but I was thinking because somebody Casey could be a girl's name or Cody's. I think tends to be a little more of a boy's name than a girl's name, but Cody's excited if she were to have kids, like whether it's a boy or a girl, it'll be Cody Jr. It'd be cooler if it's a girl, have a Cody Jr. I think that'd be cool. Right. And then just now she texted me because we were just having such a nice time. Like we're staying in a hotel because we got skunked, and it turned into a really nice what the kids call a staycation, and by kids I mean Jay Moore. The Jay Moore generation. I think they call it a staycation, and it's been really nice. We've been watching a lot of true crime stuff and murder stuff, and she was just texting me, what if we had a kid and another name could be Forensic. That'd be a good name. Forensic Heller. Forensic Harmon. Okay, so I just want to race through. We have a guest I'm pretty excited about. I think it's gonna be just more fun to just hang out with and chat with. Not that excludes anybody else that's ever. They've all been fun to hang out and chat with, except that one guy.
Yeah, one guy. That weird guy from Game of Thrones. He was a real bummer.
Grey Worm. Yeah, when he started rapping in fucking Valerian. P.U. What a guest. That's sarcasm if Grey Worm's listening. I'm being funny.
No. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I'm still excited that we had Grey Worm on the show.
These are. I just want to do another segment, even though it's going to be the same content, but it's again just reminders to waitstaff. Do we have a theme song for that segment? Just. Yeah, don't forget the stuff I told you not to do when you're serving me food. Just because the economy's collapsed doesn't mean it's communism. There's still a hierarchy. Your money still has to trickle down from someone in the entertainment industry. It's Los Angeles, not Detroit. Stop saying, how's everything tasting? Stop it. Tasting is a word that evokes the idea of things in the mouth. I don't want you talking about what's in my mouth. I don't want you to stop saying, how's everything tasting? How does everything taste? Just say, how is everything? Leave it at that. Okay? How's everything in your mouth? How's your tongue running over your food right now? Do you want that music staying in between each one of these, or do you want to just keep it rolling? Put a tag on that. Let's try it out. Like, so finish. No. There's only one. There's only one more thing. So then. There's just one more thing that a waiter said to me. Okay, so this kind of blew my mind because, as you know, if you listen to the podcast, you know that I don't enjoy it when you eat all your food and it feels like it's held against you somehow in some kind of strange, weird, like power dynamic. Like I'm talking about the thing where they, I guess you hated it when and there's only crumbs on the plate. And they like I don't like it because it's them going like, well, you either have to be a dick by not laughing, or you have to like subjugate yourself by laughing. I don't want to be put in that position. You non-privileged people think you have problems. As Molly Ringwald once said to Anthony Michael Hall, it's hard being popular. So this little fucking boner was pulled on me today. I've never heard this one in my life.
Somebody pulled a boner?
Sometimes a white person will say when they look at your empty plate,
Again,
I guess you hated it. And that leaving you to either go, no, I liked it. Or for you to go, what? To do what? To go, and then they'll go like, come on, it can't be that bad. I don't like being manipulated in a conversation. Like it can just be exchange of information. Like that. I don't do that to you people. Right? Thank you. That was a good meta joke. I riffed that. I lived it. So this I've never heard this before. So I'm halfway done with the meal. Right. Cody and I are sitting at the. I won't name the place. I don't want them to go out of business. I don't want to Oprah their beef industry. I know the power I have. I'm going to let them chill for a little. The manager will hear this. He'll clean up his act.
Just to keep it vague, it was one of Guy Fieri's restaurants.
So halfway done with my meal, and this person comes up. The wait person comes up and says, "I wrote it down." Well, God damn it, fuck it. No, I know it's your worst nightmare that I would point you out or mention you. So I'm not going to. Welcome. All right, so the wait person comes up and says, well, I guess I can assume everything's tasting good because I can see that everything's half gone. And I was like, my bro, I was like, I reserve the right to force myself to eat shitty food. It's not like, you can't assume, what do you mean? I guess I can assume everything's tasting good. First of all, you're using tasting. Let that slide. I guess I can assume. What do you mean? That's like when you say to somebody, I owe you an apology. Well, give it up, N-bomb. Give me my apology. Don't tell me you owe it to me. That's like abuse. Or even if you say, I apologize. No, you don't. You describe yourself apologizing is what you do right now. You're Tarzan saying, I apologize. You're not apologizing. It's an acknowledgement of the offense, an expression of remorse, and a commitment to change. I learned it in therapy.
4 deep breaths. 4 deep breaths.
You don't. Well, I guess I can assume everything's tasting good. You can ask me if it's good. All right, fine. That ends the segment. Okay. All right. And then there was an Uber driver playing country western music. And by Uber driver, I guess I mean he was not a country western listener genetically.
Do you want some theme music for this segment here?
No. This is just Dan Harmon's like attempt to weave the highway cones of white guilt and racism. I just like I felt like the guy. I felt like it's like the guy was like I don't know. Like he was an Uber driver. What country is that? I don't know, but it was not the place. It's not the place where Travis Tritt is from.
It's called Uzbekistan.
And I knew I was the same cologne in the Uber and the same general vibe. But he's like playing the thing. And I was thinking, oh, it's Westwood. That's why he's playing like this country station. And I think it's maybe because. I just made this racist assumption. I was like, this can't be his favorite music because it's like I was like, let's raise a wait. Where is it? Where's the thing? Well, let's raise a glass, cheerleaders and quarterbacks all through this small town heartland. Like it was those are actual lyrics. Like kind of not through all through this small town heartland. I made that up, but it was like let's raise a glass to the cheerleaders, quarterbacks, and like a birdie. And it was like, and he's driving, and he's definitely like east of Eastern European. And so he's I'm not saying
he might be into today's modern country.
He might, and we all want him to be, especially the people that get a Uber in Westwood. Okay, tourists who are like staying in Westwood and they're like, oh, you like Travis Tritt? And, yes, I do. More stars for me. But that's the thing I can't figure out is like, really? Stars are that hard to get?
Now, you could have tried to like investigate and ask him some like. What,
No,
what
I
other-
won't. I would not.
what-
No.
You ever see this guy live or?
Because
you know,
if I had said like you like country western, he would have been like, "You want me to change you? I'll change it." And like I'm not. I don't want to engage with you. I want to listen to my last week's podcast on my earbuds. All right. Look, I didn't come here to win popularity contests tonight.
Speaking of last week's podcast and music, you sang a little hair metal song about Radiohead.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah.
And oh crap! Oh yeah, here it is. His name is. We found it on Twitter. He gave it to me. His name is Nick Siepman. Siepmann. And I forget his. I think his Twitter handle is Saint_Brickworks. If you want to find him, can I play what he wrote? It's only like it's about 2 minutes long. I think you guys might enjoy it.
Yeah. So if you're a hardcore enough fan that you've clicked on this, then I guess you can use your little 15 circle button to fast forward through because
Right.
you're playing the thing but if you bought a $10 ticket, fuck you. But hopefully you haven't heard it.
No, but it's really good because Dan just freestyled. What was the setup to your song? What you just thought?
I was just thinking Radiohead's name sounds like the title of a very non-Radiohead band from like '86 or something.
right, like kind of a
Quiet
hair
Riot
band kind of
yeah,
thing.
like
And so it's, Nick here has titled this track "Nightblade," or maybe the band is Nightblade. The track is Radiohead. Shall I play it? Here we go.
Yeah.
I played this
I
in the
haven't
car.
heard it. You described it to me in the green
Yeah,
room.
I listened to it in the car on the way home from the airport today, and it's rock.
And by the way, I just want to thank this guy in advance because as I was saying to you in the green room, the truth is, I was high at Radiohead and I really did start doing that thing and it was from a place of joy and it was really much better than what I shared with you. And I was like, turn your station to misery. And I was like trying to recapture something that was truly joyful, which every time I do, it always sucks. But now this person is like
Yeah, he, like in true 80s rock and roll fashion, he's taken crappy lyrics and made it rock. Here we go. Yeah, get ready.
Turn your station to misery. Oh, watch your dial. What's your favorite frequency? I've got a Radiohead, Radio Soul, Radio Rock, Radio Roll.
Got a good chorus. Dave Klein, air guitar, the guitar solo. That's some good shit.
Yeah, I would have mixed the lyrics a little louder.
You're an ungrateful son of a bitch. Spencer, what do you think about that?
It was
Well, I
amazing
felt-
how Dave took his shirt off when his guitar strap was still around his neck. It's crazy.
Come to Harmontown. We will note your space work.
No, I loved it. It was great. It was great.
I mean, if that's not worth subscribing to see Dave Klein take his shirt off and defy guitar strap space work.
So, anyways, I'll save my Olympic questions for when our guest is out here. Maybe that can be one of the things that I'm obsessed with. Because our next guest is he's kind of armchair denotes like amateur. I mean, he's an expert. He doesn't have a PhD. He's a comedian and a writer, but he's kind of an expert on obsession because he's got a Feral Audio podcast about obsession. Different people come on, they talk about the things they're obsessed with, and he gets to the bottom of them. He's also written like amazing, super funny, crazy shit for our friend James Urbaniak, who's been on the show. Please welcome Joseph Scrimshaw. I didn't realize until right before I was like, wait, am I 100% on your name? Like that's I kind of like it's Joseph Scrimshaw.
I like that being part of my name, just the hesitation.
Yeah,
it's Joseph Scrimshaw.
Yeah,
like, that's a good name.
I had Alia Shawkat was on the show a couple episodes ago, and I can't even remember what I paused. I was like, I don't think I've ever said her name out loud, and then I was like, Alia Shawkat. Anyways, it's enough about me. So your podcast is called Obsessed?
Yeah, so it is a borderline sort of dangerous therapy because I just I thought it would be fun and funny to ask people what they're obsessed with and then kind of comically rate them. And then a lot of times people are like...
He said rate. You can do that comically.
Yes. Consensual rating happens on my podcast. Yeah. And sometimes people are like dangerously into the thing, and then I never have the guts to say like, yeah, you have a problem. Like,
how do you tell the difference? Because Dustin suggested, well, maybe you should think of the things you're obsessed with, and I started to kind of tailspin because I think I might, and my therapist has used the word obsessive like in reference to me. I don't think she's being officially diagnostic in that capacity, but she's like, you have to understand that you like when you start like thinking about something, like it's hard for you to get off of it.
Right.
So that goes for like, anything. And then I was wondering like how do you know, is there a difference between, first of all, obsession, loving something? Like I know, I feel like there's a difference there because you can love /hate. You could be obsessed with cockroaches and not want them to crawl on your arm. And then there's that third thing, which is just like addiction or compulsion. Like is there, do you draw lines between these things? If somebody were to come on your podcast, Matt Gorley said he was obsessed with quicksand.
Right.
He thinks about quicksand all the time, or he did in his childhood. You guys talked about that.
Yeah, and he obsessively makes quicksand still.
He does.
Like he knows the recipe of the perfect quicksand from the 80s. Like he knows how much oatmeal to use and shit like that.
Are there lines between that? Like, do you ever have people, you email them and go, hey, what are you obsessed with? And they write you back. And do you ever write them back and go, well, that's, everybody's, obsessed with masturbation.
No one has offered masturbation. If they offered masturbation, I would take it in a second.
All right. Well, I guess now we know what this episode is.
I would be happy to talk with you together about masturbation.
My short list was because I didn't know it was well, I'm sorry. You can finish answering my question.
I think the big thing that I feel like I have learned about obsession doing this for a couple of years is that when people try to take a thing out of the element that it lives in, like a lot of times people will like a band or a TV show, and to me, like truly obsessed with it when you find other ways to make it be a part of you.
Oh, fun.
So like when you like really like something, like, oh, I like that TV show. Some people are like, I think I'm obsessed with Twin Peaks because I watched it all once.
Right.
Like, no.
Right.
Other people are like, no, I have a tattoo and I have to look at it at 12:47 every day. It's of an owl from Twin Peaks. Like, It's when people try to make it a part of their lives outside of the original origin of the thing.
Right. It's like our friend Derek Mears, who Derek's been on the show, hasn't he? Yeah. He plays Jason Voorhees, or did in some of the Friday the 13th, and he went to some horror convention, and a guy came up to him, and he had a tattoo of the Jason mask on the back of his shaved head, and he asked Derek to sign the base of his neck, and Derek's like, no, because I know what you're going to do. And he's like, just sign it. He's like, I'm not going to sign it so you can get a tattoo. He's like, I said, I just signed my neck. So Derek reluctantly did it. The guy came back the next day with the cellophane on it and the Vaseline. It's like now forever he's got Derek's name in a Sharpie tattooed on the base of his neck.
Not to derail, but I'm kind of fascinated now, like what Derek's, I remember feeling that way when I was 27 and like somebody like I was working with Schraub in comic books and somebody would come up. Well, I remember I've told the story, a girl who was a super fan of an improv troupe we were in Milwaukee, and when the night that we announced we were breaking up, she came into the dressing room with a basketball sized tattoo of our 90s John Kricfalusi looking logo on her thigh, saying like, "I wish you had told me." And I don't know, I am a little interested in but that guy, I don't know.
That guy also, when he showed Derek his license, he had legally changed his name to Jason Voorhees. That was his name on his driver's license.
But that's not why Derek didn't want to put his signature on the back of his head.
Derek didn't want to feel responsible for this guy's
obsession,
for art on his neck. Like why do you want my signature on you for life? That's weird. Like I don't want to be not like you're a weirdo, but just like I don't want to have that much influence on the rest of your life.
He should have like written his name and then underneath, "Do not tattoo," and see.
Do you think in Derek's mind, this is where I would access it? It would be like the equivalent of if you were a female performer and a young girl came up to you. And somehow, like, I'm trying to riff an example that's going to get me all kinds of trouble, but I'm like, also, it's like on this clear side of like if somebody was like, I'm so inspired by you and how beautiful you are, and I like, can you, like, I don't know, I'm trying to, what's the fucking example? Like, sign this tiny sandwich container, so every time I think of you, I can eat the smaller sandwich or something, and that you would go, I don't want to endorse your there's something that I think you actually need to deal with. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I think for Derek, it was more just a little bit of bashfulness. Like he just didn't feel like he was maybe worthy of that.
Which I don't think. Yeah. If that's the only reason, then I kind of came full circle. Like, because I used to go, oh, that's a character from a comic book that my friend Rob drew. Dude, that's not important. Like, now it's going to be on your calf forever. Like, that's no good. But then I started to, at some point I was like, well, I guess it was probably all the community tattoos. I was like, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is absolutely justified behavior.
Yeah.
Joseph, did you start this because are you obsessive about things too?
I am a very obsessive person.
Do you have a list of things, or is it all under one umbrella of obsessions?
No, I have a whole list of things.
It's a little bit, I'm sure the joke has been made. You're obsessed with obsession, obviously. You started a podcast about it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always been media I've really liked. I'm a big Star Wars guy. In college, I got really into squirrels.
When you say you got into squirrels.
I don't know if you know this about squirrels on campuses, but they're very friendly. They're extra friendly.
Also, squirrels on film.
Well, there was a squirrel in my neighborhood. I mean, squirrels are very easily, they're so close to cats, still, like, evolutionarily. I mean, they will. I mean, yeah, if like anywhere they're not getting actively killed all the time, they'll like. If you go like this with your finger, they'll crawl up your leg, and like because they think you might have a peanut or something.
Yeah.
There was a kid in my neighborhood. There was a squirrel named Charlie who did that. It clearly had been like trained or something.
How did you discover its name was Charlie?
We all called it Charlie. I don't know. It was like it was folklore. I don't know. Charlie's
Joseph. That was a very squirrel obsessed question. Like how did you get so close to this squirrel? That he told you his name?
Yes. I remember just crawl up your leg. It was the most amazing thing to have a squirrel like use your pant leg. to scale you as if you're a tree, and you're like, and it's like right there, it's a wild animal, but it's like, and then you just feed it a little nut or something, or you go, sorry, I was just seeing if you do that. I don't walk around with nuts. I saw you, and
what form, Joseph? What form does your squirrel or did your squirrel obsession take? Like, how did that manifest?
So I was doing like just sketch comedy stuff, and I was doing sketch comedy with my brother, and he was like, "Hey, I think what this sketch needs is for you to be dressed as a squirrel." And my girlfriend does costume design, so she wants to make you a squirrel costume. So I was like, "Sure, okay." So I dressed up as a squirrel, and then I decided, like, I should be like real method about this. So.
So you didn't know that you had a squirrel thing until this.
Yeah.
This is your origin story.
Yeah. This is how I became Squirrel Man. Yeah. So then I started watching squirrels all the time, and I think the thing that has
not on TV.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah,
in real life.
Because I don't want to get political, but there's not a lot of squirrels on TV.
No, it's pretty much. Rocky.
And when they are, they're like, they're dumbasses. I love nuts.
Yeah. Well, Dan, you're a writer. I've noticed you haven't put a lot of squirrels in your shows.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's because of meritocracy. The fact is, you need to talk to the agencies. There's not a lot of talented squirrels out there. God damn it!
You can deflect all you want.
Big old squirrel planet and Rick and Morty. I think it would work.
All right, so give us another obsession. Give us another specific.
This sounds like a joke because it is, but it is also true.
Well, to be fair, squirrels sounded like a joke too.
I have been thinking a lot about shame. I have been sort of obsessed with how people internalize shame, because I think a lot of comedians make jokes about feeling great shame, and I do that too. And then I also do feel shame. So I right now I've been obsessed with thinking about exactly how we all develop our different ways of sort of internalizing that we should feel guilty and question everything we say.
Did you change the subject from squirrels?
They kind of go hand in hand.
Because squirrels are burying their shame for the winter? Or?
I asked him for another example.
Okay. Well, that was fucked up. I mean, getting a straight answer on the squirrel thing. Did you ever get to the bottom of it?
I think that...
Jeff, don't you be ashamed of yourself.
Dan, you're obsessing right now.
I'm in a weird mood tonight, and I think I did one of those things where I forgot I took the Adderall, and then I took another one. And then I also thought, because I was in Westwood, I was like, it's going to be a really long Uber drive, so I felt okay, like taking an extra like vape hit on the thing, and then I was like, and then I got here, and I was like, you came in, and I was like, social.
Yeah, this is perfect for my squirrel obsession, because the reason I'm obsessed with them is I love how much they are full of energy and then suddenly slow down and just focus on one thing. And I feel like maybe that's the drug combination that you've created.
All right. Yeah, it's called a speedball, I think they call it. So, what do squirrels slow down for? Do you mean hibernating, or do you just mean like when you catch them at a good time? Like,
well, yeah, sometimes they just like totally chill out. It's in this very fixated way, this very obsessed way. But, they will be like, I'm excited by everything around me. I have to analyze everything. Right. And then they'll just like settle into one thing.
Yeah.
I'm staring at an audience member. I don't even know why, but it's fucking captivating. I can't let go of it. And there's something like both like ridiculous and noble about that weird squirrel movement that just like makes sense to me in a strange way.
Yeah, squirrels kind of trick you because they're notoriously skittish. They scamper and
they're
hide.
Squirrely.
And if they see you, they're super squirrely.
More stereotyping.
Like, you'll see one climb up a tree, and you'll walk toward it, and you go, I want to get close up to that squirrel on the tree. And then it goes around the tree and hides from you on the other side of the tree.
Yeah.
But then it'll kind of poke his head around there, and like you think, okay, this squirrel, he knows that I'm his friend.
Right.
I'm going to get close to the squirrel. And no, they just lie.
Yeah. No.
I like that they alone. I mean, lots of rodents can climb trees.
Yeah.
But they really make a Spider-Man business out of it. They like
down.
Live vertically.
When they're climbing down,
they go nuts.
They really go nuts.
for the fresh almond taste of new.
But like when they're climbing trees down, and they're it's totally natural for them to be pointing straight down. It looks like just like they're going up. The tail doesn't flop over. Tail stays right where it should.
I bet they barely know. I bet for them it's like when you play an alien in that old Alien versus Predator game, and it's like you have to like retrain your brain to like not think of anything as the floor. I bet that's how squirrels feel. I bet they give zero fucks what's up and down.
I think they don't give a fuck. I think they act squirrely,
they
but
probably
they
give more fucks
you.
than an insect. And I'm obsessed with insects.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but not to the point where I'm smart about them. Like I don't read about anything.
I don't think obsession is about knowledge.
That's
I think it's
thing
about
I was
how much you think
about.
Yeah. I don't think it's about knowledge. Sometimes people come on the podcast and they want to be like, I've looked up all of the facts about New Kids on the Block or whatever, and like I don't care how much you know about New Kids on the Block. It's how it affects you.
Oh, that's a good example. Like to use New Kids on the Block, looking up all the facts about them, it wouldn't break into obsession because that's something a fan might do. Obsession is the threshold between that and it's taking a piece of New Kids on the Block and like somehow, God damn it! I don't know why I thought I had a point and it was just your point from before. It's like saying like, the New Kids on the Block, like this is I made a New Kids on the Block cookie jar, but it's like beyond. It's not just fandom. It's like I did it because I feel like the New Kids on the Block music like would hold cookies better. I don't know, like extrapolation on a kind of a.
It's giving the thing you're talking about meaning that it shouldn't have. It's taking it out of its realm and putting it into some other realm that affects you in some way that it shouldn't ever have been supposed to, right?
Yeah, trying to make it a part of you. And sometimes people on the podcast aren't like, they're just like it in a super, super healthy way. But I love it when it's just affected people in a really weird way.
Like I wouldn't say I'm obsessed. Every time there's a lyric that I'm singing along and the word is girl or world, I say squirrel. I just do that automatically.
I fucking love you.
Yeah. Because like when we like Greg Proops and Ryan Stiles, like we'll make that 5 minutes of our show of just doing all of that, like squirrels, hiding nuts and fuzzy butts.
Yeah, I like squirrel. You're going to be a woman soon. Squirrel, myself.
Yeah. I like this. I love
it's
it.
Very complex.
Because the squirrel is brown, it turns me on. Oh, those are good ones. Yeah.
I don't like you guys getting along like this. All right.
But that doesn't count as obsession. That's just more of just kind of a fetish, right?
That's just fun. Yeah, that's a fetish. Yeah, okay. That's a fun improv
well,
game
yeah,
fetish.
Because I made a quick list like on my way out the door.
Cool.
I was like, okay, pantyhose, redheads, Minecraft, race, personal technology, systems, rules, structure, coconuts, and biology. But some of those are fetishes. Like
right.
Pantyhose is a fetish. It's like I can't not think about like sheer fabric.
Right. It arouses you in a sexual manner.
If it's in the room, it doesn't matter. It's not like if you're, you don't have to worry about me like babysitting your sheer fabric clad nana. I'm not gonna do anything because of it, but I am gonna be unable to ignore.
Like is it that you need to look at it, or
yes? Like I don't need to touch it. Like I want to make that very clear too. Like,
but do you have to tell that to yourself? Do you look at it and have to say, "Don't touch it"?
Don't touch it. Well, that gets. I mean, like, yeah. Well, because I'm talking about when you talk about a fabric fetish, it is. I mean, so much of it is like what would that feel like? I guess. So I gotta be, even though it makes me feel unsafe. Like I should say, yeah. Well, that's like. It's like I want to touch it.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right.
Was there a childhood thing that made you attached to pantyhose, or do you just associate them with
I think the 70s was like a very pantyhose clad time.
It really was.
Women were. It just like on TV and like which I spent most of my time watching, but then like even like the women that would come over to visit with my parents, coworkers, and things like any encounter with femininity during that magical time when I'm sure like my theory may be oversimplification, but I truly think that human beings are like these little pieces of popcorn and like we simmer and then like you cannot control the moment that your kid pops,
right?
And that at that point like they might be looking at a coffee filter. there's a good chance they're going to be looking at a previously propagated like mainstream kind of channel of sexuality.
Right.
But there's also like then there's like all the ancillary stuff. It's just like I was probably under a table playing with toys and trucks because I didn't like to look at people. I didn't like to make eye contact. I was frequently under the table near the people. And I probably at that age when everything just exploded, when I think about it, it like spikes my. I'm like, yeah, I bet. Like I was like they were just like women with pantyhose on, like probably just like hanging out, like playing dominoes or something above me. And some of them were probably ants, and who knows.
Right, and that's probably where you get some of the dipping, dangling, and popping, like the shoe stuff too. That's under the table stuff
I was
too.
like, that was what femininity, sexuality, eroticism was for me, and then that was tied to like Batgirl and like the women's legs clad in like sheer fabric.
Yeah,
that was like a superhero thing, and it was also like the solid gold dancers and I don't know, anything that had anything to do with
the
pizzazz
solid gold
and
dancers.
showmanship and like
and your aunt playing dominoes. Yeah,
Lonnie Anderson on WKRP and like.
So now, does it transfer though from sexuality and from a woman's legs to like when you see like bank robbery on TV and something has like pantyhose?
Yes. I go, how can that guy rob that bank without getting a hard on? Yes. I go. That's fucking weird. I don't literally, not literally, but I actually do think like if I think about like when guys like in movies when they're going to rob a bank, a guy goes like, okay, put these on. Like I get distracted by it because I go like, how come nobody's having a conversation about how this feels like perverted? Like because it's pantyhose. And I'll do you one better. Nylon is frequently used as a windsock or whatever you call it, like to block your plosives in audio recording. Yeah. So you get the regular ones that you buy that they're professional, but then if you don't have those on hand, you can make one of those.
A coat hanger and some pantyhose.
Yeah. And so like I always, anybody else is probably just like, oh, that's just an object, and I get into a record booth and I'm like, so anyway, whoa. Okay, check.
Oh, check. There was a time, Dan. I think we were at the drawing room or somewhere, and I had these new socks that like they kind of pulled all the way up, and they were very sheer. I'm like, "Hey, Dan, check these out. Like, feel these." And you reached over and felt them. You're like, "Wait, whoa! What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot."
Well, no, you didn't forget. You were fucking with me. I've never had you felt one of my socks.
No. I'm saying. I didn't go into that thing thinking like, oh, I'm going to play with Dan's like
you did.
fetish.
That's why you brought it up.
Maybe, but I didn't know that was going to get that reaction. I thought you would go, oh yeah, nice. But you reached over and kind of just like reflexively just touched it, and then you had this big reaction to it that I was not expecting at all.
Well, I would refine that memory and go like that. You were like, so what do you think of these? And I was like, all right, take it easy. And you're like, touch them. I'm like, I'm not gonna touch your fucking pantyhose socks. And you're like, come on, touch them. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll touch them. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? That's all right. Okay, that's what it was.
That sounds fair enough. Now, Joseph, how would you rate that on your obsession? Do you have an obsessive scale? Is there
I ask questions. Do you want to do it about pantyhose? These are the questions that I use to rate the obsession.
Dan also said coconuts. I want to get back. I'm going to put a pin in coconuts.
Okay, you want to?
No. Let's stick with pantyhose. I want to see where this one falls.
All right, we'll do pantyhose and go to coconuts. I feel like that's a fucking Marx Brothers movie.
For pantyhose and coconuts?
Pantyhose and coconuts. Whap, whap, whap. Whap, whap, whap. No, that's Stooges.
Here's some of the questions. Do you think about pantyhose every day?
Yes.
Like, even if you don't see them, you'll just be walking along, doing your business, and then just think, pantyhose.
Yeah.
I think
but I see them everywhere. I mean, so there would be no way. But if I was locked in a cell, which I probably should be,
you'd be thinking about pantyhose 24 hours a day.
I would figure out a way to think about them. Yeah,
you would like etch them on the walls.
They would
of your
come
prison.
into my head. Yeah.
Okay.
But like I always like I'll be watching a movie. Like I was just watching Now You See Me Too. And I just like I just it has nothing to do. It's like God damn it, I forgot her name. Two Broke Girls. They replaced Isla Fisher with her in a weird on the nose way. Now I kept. Lizzie Kaplan is the new one female in Now You See Me Too. They add 95 men, and Woody Harrelson gets to play 2 men, but Isla Fisher apparently now you don't. And so Lizzie Kaplan at one point, like she wears like knee high. She wears like boots that come up past her knees, and like not like a short skirt, like a thigh length skirt. So there's like this much thigh showing, and it has nothing to do with like prurient interest, honestly. And I was like trying to, because I was watching it with Cody, and it was just like I don't even know. It's like but it goes into my head like if I see a shot in a movie where anybody lands. Like, or it's like somebody's what? Like, I just like my mind like says whether or not they're wearing not like pantyhose.
Like you feel like you can identify quickly.
Yes,
like you're an expert.
And
like
I ran through it with
them.
Cody, and I was because I feel more comfortable talking to her about this stuff, and I was like, and it was interesting because it wasn't a definitive thing, and it was definitive in my mind.
Yeah,
it was, which I think is obsession, because it's like, why would you even have that? Because she rewound it, and she was like, well, it's her legs are the same color as her face and her hands, though. What are you basing it on? And it was like I couldn't even really pinpoint it. I was just like, I don't.
You have pantyhose confirmation bias.
I have. For
Joseph, I'm glad you finally said the words to him. Because I've known him for so long, and I just never feel like the time is right.
I have pantyhose confirmation apparatus, which is already weird, right?
Yes.
Like why you shouldn't even not shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's like it's not. It's that denotes. Okay. All right, yes. So every day.
Okay. Have you ever had a dream about pantyhose?
Yeah. For God.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a wasted question on my part, for sure. If you could steal pantyhose from someone's home,
I have. I have done it. How is this going to apply to ants, by the way, or coconuts? Well, I guess I wouldn't steal coconuts from anyone's home. I have robbed trusted. That's why I was young. I was younger, and I crossed that threshold. I was like, oh. You need to fucking own this.
Yeah.
Okay. You just stole pantyhose. You need to go buy them at the grocery store and stop being embarrassed. Like, you need to pretend you're buying toothpaste and also.
Are they hidden behind your air conditioner, like Dexter's blood slides, or like?
What do you mean?
Did you collect them when you stole them, or
no? They weren't it wasn't like about her sniffy panty. No, it wasn't like I'm taking an article of women's clothing because of her. It was. I keep going like, oh no, not like that. And I don't want anyone listening that has any predilections. I mean. I don't want anyone to ever feel ashamed of themselves, but I'm pulling back on my pulling back. But no, for me, it was like a new package, and I was like, fuck, I'm never going to get this chance again.
Okay. But then you just appreciated them. Like, you just,
appreciated them? Yeah.
While kneeling and rubbing his nipple. And listening to Radiohead.
Yeah, I jerked off with them. I have at one point. I was like, well, maybe come on, maybe you're like Ed Wood, and I tried them on, and let's see if this would work, and that didn't work out, and but I've done everything you could think of, and that's why you don't know me as well as these kids, but I have mannequin legs and things that I go to the store, buy them. Okay. Now there's Amazon, thank God. You can just get a box of, and then it's just on the leg. Now I have a girlfriend who knows the whole score, and so I don't really have to right now do a lot of commerce based.
What's the next question, Joseph?
But yes, I would steal them from someone's home. But I say that with all due shame because I was 23, and as soon as I did it, I was like, "This is huge. Okay. You need to." I'm not. I don't mean. I just want to clarify. I don't think it's cool to steal from people.
Right.
That's all.
Right. No.
I have done it.
You'd be robbing banks with a boner.
That'd be funny if
Which, by the way, was the worst Marx Brothers movie.
This poor female friend, she finishes doing dishes and comes upstairs like, "What are you doing?" And I've got the pantyhose on my head, and I'm like, I'm robbing you. And she's like, "Of what?" And I'm like, "These." And I just run out with them on my face. And she's like, "Well, I don't want them. They're $4.99." Well, I'm embarrassed. I wouldn't want anyone to think I'm a pervert. I'll tell you. Can I tell you just something?
Please, please.
Like it was during a barbecue at a platonic friend's place, and during it, she had a lot of them and wore a lot of them. God bless her. And I felt like she would never miss them because because obviously it's a cowardly thing. So if I thought it would be noticeable, it was like because of the circumstances. I was like, this is your big chance. Now I look back on that and go, you fucking pussy. Just own your perversion and go to the. But this was my first kind of reckoning.
Were you gonna say own your perversion and go to the grocery store?
Yeah,
is that what you were gonna say? I want that phrase out in the world. So.
It's my license plate frame.
That's your keep calm and carry on.
I took a package of pantyhose.
I like to dress up as squirrels, and I'm going to Ralph's.
I hid them in a bush that between our homes.
That's just like a squirrel would.
I hid them. I burrowed them. I hope that my candor somehow
this is great
balances that. No, but I also feel like I'm a woman and I'm listening and I'm going I knew it about that gender in general. But yeah, I guess if there's anything I can do to encourage that fear, I would. Yeah, I bet we're dangerous people.
All right, next question.
All right, sounds good.
I was a friend and I hid her pantyhose in a bush. So I could take them home, and that's fucked up. I'm just admitting this now for the first time out loud.
You put them in the bush so you can retrieve them later on. So
and take them home. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna put these here because I'm not gonna walk around at the party.
Were they in a full? What kind of package?
Well, they were the Hanes in the flat package.
Gotcha. So yeah, you couldn't just put those in your pocket. Gotcha.
Yeah, I could have. Well, I could have, but that would have taken some strange form of courage in the face of my coward. Every move had to be cowardly. So,
but you had to get them out of a room to an outdoor area where there was a bush.
Yeah.
So how did you get them? Did you put them inside your sweater? What?
Yeah, it was a barbecue. I tucked them away and I'm like, I gotta get rid of this shame so I can forget about it now that I've committed the crime, profited myself. I'll just bury the body, go back to the barbecue. And then, look what I found in this bush.
When did you return to the bush? After the party was over?
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the night or what? I don't know. Were people still there?
After I was done at the barbecue, yeah. I was going I have this weird chance with all these circumstances. At that time, the whole context was, I never thought it was possible to be so unashamed of this fascination and obsession that I felt that there was no Amazon and there was no I had never just bought a pair of pantyhose.
This is your only access then. This was the opportunity.
This was the threshold from looking at photos of women wearing it and I was
robbers,
I've never actually really.
Had you ever thought about before that moment? Had you ever thought about could I just go and buy them, or had that not occurred to you at all?
I had thought about it, and then I had been but I can't do that because, I don't know. I was just scared. I was so ashamed. I just thought I don't know what I thought would happen. Just somebody would go at the grocery store. I would go, so toothpaste and what are these for? Because it's not Halloween, and these are taupe. They're not Robin Hood. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? I don't know. It's when you feel shame, you don't even really. To me, it's not. There's nothing logical about it. It's you think everyone will know, and like things that they would have you bother to run through. It's like the telltale heart, it's like like you do the extra math, like so the things that you'll do to avoid,
you imagine what everybody else
and that's
is
the
gonna
dangerous
say.
thing about shame, which is why I think it's like that's the thing, is like the creepier a thing, the more that we don't want to look at it, and like we go like, oh well, I know one thing for sure, I feel better about myself as a mainstream citizen because that guy's really weird. The thing is, there's a little tax levied on that. I think, and like this isn't self-justification. This is like because of my taste of it. I feel bad for people that like wouldn't be able to say into a podcast and therefore feel like get some sleep at night.
I mean, I think that's a positive part of discussing obsessions. Is I think in general our culture is moving towards sort of like. Whatever you love, you do you, and being loud and proud about it. And I think that it is great that you are being loud and proud about Pantyhose.
Loud, but not.
No, Joseph.
Just loud.
Joseph, real quick. I want to get back to the question on Pantyhose, but I have a side question.
Yeah.
The last question was, have you ever stolen?
Yeah.
Have you ever stolen blank? But let's say we had picked race, which is one of the things.
Have you ever stolen race? I've co-opted it. We all have. It's called rock and roll.
Do you?
I steal race every day.
We built this city on appropriation.
We built this city. Do you just not use that question, or do you apply that question somehow? Like, have you ever stolen? You couldn't say.
Yeah, I alter them if I have to. I had somebody who just wanted to talk about fear, and I didn't ask them, would you steal fear?
Because you didn't want to accidentally launch a DC comic.
Man of Steel 2.
Would you steal fear?
Who are you? Fear thief.
My story begins in Saigon.
So I tried to alter them.
I dig it. Okay, so moving on, maybe?
Okay.
Fear thief.
I want Armenian fan art of Fear Thief.
I like it because it's like an FX series, because it would just say fear, period, thief, period. But the title of the show would be fearthief.com, hashtag, Okay, go ahead.
Would you discuss Pantyhose with Hitler?
Would I discuss Pantyhose with Hitler?
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, because I gotta figure he's tired of talking about genocide. And I'm not going to ask any new questions about that. No, I don't really.
Hitler would talk about race, maybe not coconuts.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna create a situation where I'm in a conversation with Hitler.
Absolutely.
Because it never happened. Forget what you've read at Alex Jones' YouTube site. It's YouTube site. Okay, Grandpa. What's Alex Jones's YouTube site again? YouTube? You fucking. I figure it's like a cosmic situation.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of stuck with Hitler for a while. Like
right.
It's not like
in the void.
I'm going there to I can't kill him and I can't talk him out of. I can't. I'm not gonna. I'm absolved of
Yeah.
Engineering. I don't have to do anything that people are going to yell at me for doing.
Yeah,
or
you're
not doing.
stuck in a void with Hitler.
Yeah.
Right.
You talked
would like
about
to talk-
pantyhose. You could have killed Hitler.
I would go, oh, hey, Hitler. I'm picturing we're treading Etheria, because we've both had some Kubrickian fucking mishap. And so I'm just eye to eye with him, in some weird whirlpool. And we don't know how long we'll be facing each other. And Michelangelo's whipping by, going and of course Marco Polo, Marco! Shit. He'll be back again. But then for some reason I'm faced off with Hitler. It's like the current's going both of our ways.
Yeah,
I'm
you're stuck
hey
with
Hitler, and he's like, Dan Harmon, and I'm so you're familiar with me? And he'd be yes, for whatever reason, I saw Community. It was did you like it? And he's like, yes, and I'm yes, shitty. I just want everyone to like it, but it's Hitler. so we'd get my shit out of the way, and then I'd go like, so why Hitler? Like, why would you do that? Do what? Like, well, why'd you Hitler everybody? Well, I didn't. Okay, well, that's what everybody says. Nobody says I'm not Hitler. And then I go like, well, so like, what? Tell me like what you were really passionate about, because there's the whole art versus like genocide dichotomy. As if your teacher had told you drew good, you wouldn't have killed 6 million people. And he's like, I'm gonna stop you there. I didn't kill 6 million people. And it's like, I don't want to take part in a revisionist conversation, Hitler. And he'd be like, it's like don't compare me to Hitler just to win an argument. And I'm like, you're Hitler. So eventually it would run into like this rhetoric wall,
right?
Like, and I'd go like, okay, fine. So let's talk about anything other than the Hitler stuff. And he'd be like, yeah, if you don't mind. And I'd be like, fine. And I think one of the third or fifth things I would get around to is like, what is it? So what are you into? Like, do you like
what popped your little kernel popcorn?
Yeah. Like, what are you you think you're a little, like, where do you think you are on the Kinsey scale? Or like, what did you like? Do you like, are you a boob man, a butt man, a leg man? Like, I would have gotten there, yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like if you're swimming in etheria, you were swimming in the void that did not have water?
Treading etheria.
By the way, I coined etheria, and if you ever tread in it from now on, you owe me 5 cents a minute.
So you're treading etheria. Just such a great drug term. And Hitler comes up to you and says, like, I'd like to engage you about pantyhose. Would you be like, no, fuck off, Hitler. I'm not.
No, I would be like, holy shit, what? So pantyhose are more significant than I even thought? Like, yeah. If anyone ever like came up to me and was like, let's have a conversation about pantyhose, I would be like, it's like saying Minecraft. Like, I'd be like, okay, yeah, like you have 3 hours of my time. But that doesn't count after the show. I go back there, I call an Uber, and I phone out.
You met a guy once that says like he goes at night and takes photos of a certain storefront that has mannequin legs in it, right? In New York.
I met a guy at a bar that did that. Yeah, that had a mannequin thing.
Yeah. And you guys had like a good, nice, like very interested, like healthy conversation about like just getting to the bottom of what that is.
I don't. Well, I guess that's a shame because I don't remember a damn.
Sorry.
So next question, we kind of already talked about a little bit. Would you get a pantyhose related tattoo?
No, but that says more about my obsession with not getting tattoos than No, I wouldn't, because a lot of it is rooted in kind of shame, and I also felt like on one hand I feel like that would be healthy to overcome, like shame in general, like my therapist says there's good shame. Like a toddler has shame when if they're at the top of a set of stairs and the parent goes no, like don't. Yeah. And it's like you get, so then every time you get near a big flight of stairs, you feel like this jolt of like, oh man, I don't want my mommy to get mad at me, which it's like by falling downstairs. And like there's good uses for shame. Toxic shame is it benefits nobody and stuff like that. So I have a lot of toxic shame about, well, just in general, about everything. So I'm trying to figure that out. I don't think I'd ever, but aside from that, I think a tattoo would just ruin everything, because a tattoo is like a Superman logo. It's like, here's my thing, and I think the pocket of, I think there's a little pocket of shame about it that's like kind of, I like the kink. I like
so you wouldn't want like an actual tattoo of pantyhose on your leg, so you could always look down and see pantyhose on yourself.
No,
who would want that?
Yeah, that seems silly.
But if somebody came to you and said you must have a tattoo, would pantyhose be in the running? If just like you had to have a tattoo?
Yeah, sure, but so would Pac-Man and like I don't know, because I would
way
have
up
like
there. Okay, that's very helpful.
Minecraft, I guess I'd probably get like a Minecraft tattoo.
Okay. I have one more question to rate your obsession, and this is a weird one. It's strangely metaphysical, and you can interpret it how you'd like. If you could not enjoy looking at pantyhose without you or someone you love first being punched in the crotch, would you still look at pantyhose?
Me or someone I love? So I can pick me, right, all the time?
Or you can pick someone you love, which sometimes people on the podcast do. They're like, yeah, give it to Steve. Fuck him.
I love him. I'm so sick of loving him. I think there's a very real possibility. I would never. I think if someone else had to get punched in the crotch, even a stranger, even if Robert Loggia came over with a magic button and said, "You get to look at pantyhose every time you hit this button, and somewhere someone will get punched in the crotch." I think I would go, okay, well, obviously this is.
Are you picturing Robert Loggia as the enforcer, the one who does the crotch punching?
Who is it? Oh, it's Frank Langella. I get him in.
Okay.
It's from the Button movie.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is the question every time you look at pantyhose, somebody gets punched in the nuts?
You can get a subscription. You can
right,
do it once a month.
So depending on the terms of the subscription, if I had to get punched in the nuts, in exchange for a year of getting to
look at pantyhose,
have pantyhose be a part of my life, like visually or whatever, I would be like, okay.
Yeah. So then, after you took it for a year, and the pantyhose gods came to you and said, "I'm sorry, we need to up it to once a month." Would you go monthly?
I'd start to go, what's going on here? Isn't there terrorism happening somewhere?
You don't question the pantyhose gods.
I know. So I would start to go. Then I would start to. I think I would start to go. Well, okay.
You're being
where
punished.
this is going.
You're physically being punished by the gods for what you're doing.
I would start to actually think about how to kill the gods. Because I'd be like, well, this is obviously a call to adventure, like, because this is wrong to. And if I found out I couldn't, and I would do it in a very cowardly way, like I would find out if there was a way to like steal their force field and put it in a bush at a party.
I love this as the beginning of your hero's journey.
But I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't want to. Well, because the thing is, like, I think I don't want to. I don't want damage to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
you want to be able to
pain. You know.
Right. So you take a punch in the arm.
I would take a heavy punch in the arm.
Okay.
I would take a punch in the face.
So you take a punch in the face before you
once
take
a month?
punch?
Yeah. Once a month? Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me as hard as you can.
What if you had?
I grew up in the Midwest in the 70s. Like, I fucking hit me as hard as you can in the face. As long as I don't lose a tooth, like fucking, and I get to look at pantyhose for a month.
What if you had full unfettered access to pantyhose, however you wanted them, like just like no, like without fear of consequence or repercussion? But you lost nipple sensitivity.
No.
Not worth it.
No deal. That's what I'm saying. No permanent damage. I don't want to alter myself in any way.
Right.
That's why I said I don't even want to lose a tooth necessarily. I don't want to ever look at a record, but pain. Fuck pain.
See, and here's great, because then I start to figure out the boundaries of the obsession of tooth loss.
I don't want to lose myself at all in any way. And that was a thing that I was going to talk to you about, but I guess we should get to the thing. Because in compiling my list, I noticed a connection. And as an obsession, as a person obsessed with obsession, I was wondering if maybe you would shed some light on it. It'll take us all out of this. We should finish.
We'll wrap it up. I ask people to make a noise to sum up their obsession. Can you make a noise to sum up your obsession with pantyhose?
Oh.
It's like fewer syllables to say. Well, hello there.
Yeah, that's I didn't know we got 4 days for Thanksgiving. I don't know. I was trying to think of a title for that sound.
That's great. Okay,
there's French fries in the bottom of the bag.
I think there might be a food component to all of your obsessions.
That's how I measure fucking worth.
How many fries are left in my bag?
How many calories?
Okay, do you want me to rate your obsession level with pantyhose?
I do.
Okay, so I use the number 7 just for fun, and then I always create a thing that 7 things.
Okay, you rate things by using numbers for fun?
The number 7 is for fun, because sometimes people get obsessed with 7. Because it's arbitrary.
Oh, are you saying it's a scale from 1 to 7?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So I'm going to say it is 7 aunts playing dominoes. Out of 7 aunts playing dominoes, I think you are 5 out of 7 aunts playing with dominoes obsessed with pantyhose.
All right.
It's like it affects you on a daily basis, but you have like clear limitations where like I will not cross this line.
I'm not. Yeah, I would never. I would never involve other. I would never take a toll on other people's lives, or even mine in a way that I could actually would have to think about for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite worth surgery or permanent injury,
right?
Or impacting another.
Do you think, Dan, there's something else on your list that would give you more Domino's ants?
I don't know. I mean, that's a primal sexual kink. So I think I'm pretty sure as far as like compulsion, like as far as what you could get me to compromise for. I mean, but that's It's I mean,
Minecraft. How many aunts do you think you would score on Minecraft obsession?
I mean, Minecraft's like cigarettes or something like that, where it's
addictive.
I put that more as an addiction, but I am obsessed with Minecraft's addictive quality. Like holy shit! How can one game be so good? And why can't anyone make a better game? But while making that list, I was like ants and biology and systems and rules. I find myself. I think I'm particularly like there's a huge component of my life and my obsession with story structure and stuff like that is like I don't want to change at all.
Right.
And I'm obsessed with the idea of simplicity, order, systems, rules, cleanliness in a love-hate way. Like I'm like I on one hand like refuse to be told what to do, and I'm fascinated with anyone that tries to tell anyone what to do. It doesn't matter, and that's what. And I think it trickles down to like my obsession with race and racism and gender politics and social activism and all these things is because I'm always you'll find an equal number of people that like fucking loathe a thing that I say. On both sides, like I'm a cuck to the fucking like the whatever you
MRA
call them,
guys,
and I'm a pig-headed fucking Belushi to the SJWs. I don't use the phrase SJW, but I'm like right in the middle because I'm always going like, who's trying to tell me what to feel and think, and for that matter, who's trying to tell anybody else what to think and feel, and then I'm also like who says a movie's hard to write, and who says like, why can't you? And it all seems to come down to like this thing where I want to be like this dirty piece of shit, like this pile of like organic gunk, and I want to like come up with a way of like how can we all be that and like but have it all make sense,
right? So you want to find a little bit of order within the chaos, but you would like it if the order it maybe looks like a lump of crap.
I want to maybe it's that I want to prove that the highest order of all necessitates like chaos
in just being organic, right?
Yeah,
you're describing
I
like
selfishly want to like create a system in my mind for myself, or I want to die. Like I want to prove that I don't belong. I don't know.
Okay, how do coconuts fit in with an obsession with order?
Because coconuts are like so like I was like they are this giant hairy floating nut.
Right. So they're like a Lovecraftian food object. Yeah. They should not be.
They're like it's like sperm in the form of like this liquid, and the inner coating is like egg, or it might be the other way around. It's like a plant. It's like there's gametes in the fluid, and there's there's like food stuff like the milky coconut stuff on the inside of the layer that you you can scrape it off and eat it. Like that's is delicious to that liquid, I think, as it is to the. And
this feels more sexual than the pantyhose to me.
It is really super sexual, and I feel like biology in general, like is so. Yeah, I love like the genetic. You know, here's something that I just realized. I just realized it's okay to say now in this episode. When I was in like 9th grade biology, when we were first starting to learn about genetics, I would get aroused by the discussions about dominant and recessive genes and stuff like that. There was no sexual component to it. It was nowhere near actual reproduction.
Right.
We were talking about on a cellular level, like RNA becoming DNA and all that stuff. I get aroused.
Would you steal biology? Bio burglar.
There's something about
Was it the recessive gene or the dominant gene or the relationship between the two?
Are you a top or a bottom in the genome situation?
Genes kind of turn me on. The idea of genes, the idea of biology, the idea that we exist as part of some strange goopy mass, like that started as just entropic molecular collisions, and that something within that is like, I want to be, and I don't instead of not being, and that always takes this aqueous, soupy, salty, briny, visceral form, like the primordial soup.
It's
like
exactly
I kind of
what
get
you're
turned
saying,
on.
So it's a system of order that functions, that creates things. That is very scientific.
The
but
reveal
it's a
that
milky
mud
goop.
is a computer. It gives me a boner.
A mind boner, right?
I'm saying, like, I really did when I was a kid. The thing is, like, when you're that age, you're getting boners in geometry too. Like, but I did feel like I was especially like titillated by all this talk of like the teacher would just go around the room and he'd go like, so if you have curly hair and then you reproduce with someone that has straight hair, what are the, and he'd do like the four quad, the Gregor Mendel like chart. I would find myself like going like, I don't know, curly hair and straight hair getting together, and like, I don't know, I just like, I can't, like, I was just like the idea of anything like just biology, just like fucking like it just like always turned me on.
Right, but it's not just random substances getting together; it's substance to create order.
Yes.
It's not just like, I'm going to take this mustard and I'm going to mix it with honey and wipe it around. You're just like, that's not interesting.
No, that's
to me.
Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, that's no, you're exactly right. It's the biolipid. It's what do you call the lipid biolayer or whatever. That's the membranes.
It's a science thing.
Just also it's like all these like descriptions of how this shit works and how it is like trying to accomplish something, but it's like goopy and like
So you are obsessed with a primordial ooze that creates structure.
Yeah.
And pantyhose.
But that goes to like imprisonment and things too. In pantyhose fetishism, there's like a thing called encasement, which is like, that's people who are so into pantyhose, like nylon, that they'll just like encase their whole bodies. So there's like sites that are just like, it's called encasement as a fetish. So it's like head to toe.
Okay.
Like, and you can easily do it with basically 2 pairs of pantyhose or 3. Like you take one pair, pull it up to midsection. Another pair, you'd put your arms instead of your legs in and put your head through the crotch, and then take a third pair, put it on your head. Now you're encased. Now, I haven't tried it. But we
sounded like an infomercial. And now you're encased. It's just that easy.
You can do it 5 minutes a day. It costs less than a cup of coffee.
Sometimes you can just find them in bushes too.
But remember when Adam Goldberg's roommate was on the show years ago before we went on the tour?
Yeah.
Adam Goldberg had a young lady, was his roommate. She came on and she was. It sounded like she was a little bit into encasement a little bit. She like skin tight spandex. Like it was like. Anyways, but wait, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but it's like, biology reminds me of that. Like, it's like this fucking zoomanity, like fucking like pushing your like hands against a membrane or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, I can't figure out if for me it's like it's this idea of like cocoon or like does it have something to do with like I want to airbrush all of humanity. I can't tell if I love or hate order.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because you want to, when you get fascinated with structures of order, it's always in some sort of messy, sloppy way, like at least aesthetically. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. I don't go, I love systems. I'm going to think about traffic all day.
Yeah.
I'm interested in human shit. Like, and the fact that when you poop it out, it goes into a network of tubes underneath us. I want to talk about that. Or ants, which we try to like spray to keep out of our house, and the fact that they exist as an older species with a much more systematized way of thinking and emergent
super
behaviors.
organized.
That it has something to do with the causticity of like. Most of the shit that we think is a system is bullshit. It's like a outgrowth that is actually what we think is order is actually chaos. It's a cancerous tumor growing on proper order. Proper order is God's order, which is mud and blood and cum and shit.
It's organic and beautiful.
Dan, do you think it's possible that there's people listening to this
who are no longer listening?
No, Watch how delicately I shoehorn our ad into this. Do you think it's possible to be obsessed with Rick and Morty and video games at the same time?
I think if you like. I think Rick and Morty definitely indulges because Rick is like he's a sociopathic, anarchistic, like crazy genius who definitely doesn't want to be told what to do. And yet he's like able to like make robots and clones, and he's able to subvert biology and technology to get whatever he wants done, and all he wants is to be left alone, and puke green shit out of his mouth, and he still drinks out of a flask. So there's like definitely an embrace there of like what is the role of order versus chaos? An exploration you too can now take part in using Cryptozoic's new Rick and Morty games that they've come out with.
There's 3 games, I believe, right?
You tell me.
I think I have it written down right now. I was just told by Dustin to plug this right now. One game is called Total Recall. There's you can play Mr. Meeseek's Box of Fun Dice and Dare's game.
Oh. So I promoted that wrong in the mid-roll recording that I did at one point because I thought there were 2 things, and one of them was called Mr. Meeseek's Fun Box of Dice and Fun Dares game.
You might be right. I'm only reading what's in this text.
Wait, Dustin's saying there's 2.
It's 2. You're right.
Okay, all right.
There was order in the chaos.
There was order in that chaos. So, Jeff, are you saying that this company that I think is called Cryptozoic.com?
I think yes.
Are you saying that if you go to their site Cryptozoic.com/Harmontown, that there's something that would make you special in some way, that you could partake in the purchase of either this Total Recall game where you play cards and fight alien
I just
parasites?
feel like there might be obsessive people out there who are wondering what their next tattoo and what the thing they should steal next would be, and maybe it's a video game.
These aren't video games. These are more tabletop-y kind of games.
Are the card games?
So they're easier to steal, actually.
This says my text says this. Reminder: at some point, we have to do an ad for these Rick and Morty video games. All we have to do is acknowledge they exist and do a bit where we say the names of them, which are Total Recall and Mr. Meeseek's Box of Fun Dice and Dare's Game, and then you text it back. Got it.
It says video games.
Video games. That's his. Dustin said sorry. They're not video games.
No, they're not video games.
They're tabletop games you can play with is it fun for the
I believe
whole
the
family?
Total Recall game is like a card game that takes advantage. Everybody remembers the Parasite episode where the alien parasites are in the house and they can't tell. It's kind of a clip show because they can't tell which of their memories are real and which have been implanted there by...
That's the Mr. Poopy Butthole episode, isn't it?
Yeah. We have the card game in the car.
He has the card game in the car.
You knew that I was full of shit when I said video games.
And then the other thing is it's like a $40 Mr. Meeseek's box that has a functioning button. It's $35 for you, though, if you go to Cryptozoic.com/Harmontown and use the promo code Harmontown or something like that.
Also, MeUndies. Okay, so back to you, Joseph.
So MeUndies. So they're...
Now, wait a minute. Don't bring your integrated marketing into my show. How dare you? Oh, wait, we're part of the same network. Yes, MeUndies.
Yeah, MeUndies.
Oh.
They're very, very silky, smooth, soft.
Twice as soft as cotton.
Yeah.
Dan, have you ever felt... We can be honest. Have you felt MeUndies? Did they get into the realm of the sheer pantyhose fetish for you?
They do it close enough for me without me feeling all the way like I'm cheating.
Cheating on pantyhose?
Cheating on like wearing underwear. Like I have like if I just wore I don't like cheating like oh wait, I'm not wearing actual underwear. I'm like I have a secret.
Right.
Which is fine. Again, like I don't let my quest for an identity like trample in your rose garden. If you're wearing panties right now and that's like fantastic. Like if I would encourage you to feel better about that. I have a shame problem. I'm saying like MeUndies is like so like. It's twice as soft. Do we really have to do it in MeUndies?
No, we don't.
No, I was.
But well, this one's on the house because honestly,
we charge them for this one too.
No, MeUndies are like they're like when you touch them for real. Yeah,
they're
like
really soft.
Twice
they're
as soft as cotton is a good
soft.
descriptor. It's not hokum, and yeah, when you put them on the dude side of the fence, the heteronormatively dude side of the fence, it does feel it's just this side of the Joe Rogan threshold between self-indulgence and
transition.
I have only touched the MeUndies samples that I got to my face, and then I was disturbed by how soft they were. Like, that's too soft for underwear.
Your first instinct was to touch them to your face? I like that.
It was in a public place, so it seemed the best way to sort of assess the claims of MeUndies that they were so incredibly soft.
What is it? Is there a female in the audience that is like sort of open to and sort of a just like a coffee, no, like I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Just like somebody who has an appreciation for like finds value in their life for like the kind of the frilliness of traditional female garments. I don't know how to describe that. Like somebody that's like oh yeah, I like putting on like frilly like
corsets and
petticoats, lacy business like lingerie type stuff or there's what's that? I mean,
no, like undergarments, but like with the full frilly fashion, like kind of.
I guess no. Yeah, thank you for making me clarify because I think it'd be more important to hear from somebody who's making it part of their day-to-day life, like your actual like outerwear, like that you're actually like you're wearing it. Because the question I want to ask is how much of it is for you and how much of it is for other people, and I know that's not a difficult. I know that's a weird question to have to answer, and it's not definitive. But that's why I was just curious about having that.
For yourself, I think.
Is the person saying that willing to just come up and be a character for a second,
or a person?
Okay.
Hello. What's your name?
Hello.
Hello. Zoe. Hello, Zoe. Welcome, Zoe, to the stage.
Yeah, have a seat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you because I know, especially these are times when this is a little bit of a there's a little minefield we could go into here. You could not for me honestly, like you could end up.
I guess.
It's because people tend to like, oh, she's an ambassador, and that's not how we feel and all this stuff. So I will stress going forward.
Sorry if
you're just an individual. You're not representing anybody in particular.
Yes, sir, that's
We're
right.
hearing from one person. So like, how answer you heard what I was talking about?
So like. I don't know. For me, like a big thing is definitely like personal comfortability. And I know like everybody dresses, I think mostly for themselves. I think mostly when people get ready in the morning, they dress for themselves and they dress for how they want to feel about themselves. Contrary to the popular belief that everybody kind of dresses for how they want to be perceived. I think some people do, but a lot of people dress for like how they want to feel.
Yeah, I'm never sure what I'm doing or where you draw that line. I mean, we're like chimpanzees, so we're like, what are we doing when we're like clothing ourselves? I don't really know. Like I open my closet and I go, okay, so there are thoughts that go through my head where I'm like, that have to do with other people, that have to do with other people's perceptions.
Right. No, I don't know. Personally, like I definitely got to a time where I was like, because I like to dress for other people to a certain extent, and then I got to a time where I was like, fuck it. You know, like, I'm gonna dress for me.
Are we talking about undergarments in particular?
Yeah, in particular. So, like...
So are you wearing something exotic underneath right now?
Not on top. I like made the choice. I was like, how much of my boobs do I want to show today? So I wore like a regular bra, like a normal person. But I have gotten kind of into a thing of like, I don't know, bralettes have gotten super popular. I know most of the girls. Bralettes? They're like bras with no support. And they're just, I know most of the ladies here know them. They're mostly like lace or like a really, really thin material, and they've gotten freakishly popular.
I'm an advocate already.
Yeah. They're great. They're mostly like, they're mostly sheer lace, and they're so incredibly comfortable. You don't have to deal with like the underwire or the clasps of regular bras.
So they're not giving you the whole lift and separate action. They're just there to kind of what? Just to feel good and
like keep the nipples in line.
Keep that, just kind of yeah.
Let me ask you. So
order in the chaos.
So to what extent, this isn't an easy question either. Like bras in general, like we were all born past the time of like, well, we weren't all born. If you're out there like this, there was this bra burning thing. It was like bras specifically were just focused on for a moment in our history. It's like in feminism, it was like, what the fuck am I wearing these for? The idea was like, aren't these just making my tits look better for whom? And like fuck you. And that, but then from that gets boring. It's like, well, wait a minute. Like when I'm jogging, I don't,
I don't really know anything about that stuff. I've never actually asked these questions. So what you said that you talked about the underwire?
Yeah,
and
so like bras have like a metal wire underneath them. Like we know how, yes? Bras
yeah, but I'm saying, because you said these bralettes, the difference is like, one of the differences is lack of support. And the word support kind of like, for me, needs to be clarified, because support could either mean comfort for the individual or cosmetic support.
Yeah, so like support so your boobs look perkier is essentially, because boobs just aren't.
But bralettes have
naturally-
less of that.
Yeah, so they're mostly like elastic or like lace, or there's no like.
But it's just keeping you from being super nipply underneath whatever else you're wearing.
Right,
Yeah,
so it's like
essentially.
underwear, like kind of like for your boobs, like as you would expect.
Yes.
And it's all just about the perspective of comfort. Just
Yeah, and they're a lot of them are like super lacy, and like you're supposed to kind of show them off, so you'll wear something that's like more see-through or strappier, like.
All right.
Now let's talk about, if I can be indelicate, let's talk about down like below the waist. Like do you wear like fancy things like garters,
yeah.
stockings? You're like,
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No, like garters, thigh highs, stockings. I grew up with like pantyhose or tights that you wear all the way to your waist, which are fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of them. I definitely like thigh highs and like garters more, which are less acceptable.
Are you so into, like you'd probably wear that?
What? Oh, because did I make the sound like? I did like a cousin of the sound, because I'm not actually. I was like, all right. Better than nothing.
4 days of Thanksgiving, that was disturbing, by the way. Now, are you so into Zoe? Right?
Yes, sir.
Are you so into wearing like stockings and thigh highs and garter belts and things like that you would wear them under jeans, or only when you're wearing like a dress or something like that?
Dresses and skirts mostly, just because they're like hard to maneuver under jeans.
Yeah.
So yeah, like dresses and skirts mostly.
Gotcha. But when you're wearing that's more visible. That's partly for you and partly for the public.
See, that's where it kind of gets sketchy, because I like to wear them for me. Like I'm more comfortable. Like I like them. I think they're fun. I feel more comfortable in them, and I don't like to wear them if I know they're gonna show.
See, right now I'm only wearing underwear made completely of squirrels. Easy, Joseph.
No.
Easy, Joseph.
So he's reacting to your squirrel underwear like a squirrel would react to
my nuts.
To a non. Just another reason to get a subscription to the streaming service. Zoe, I know this again, not an easy question to answer, and again, Zoe is not up here representing anybody, so like she's she's going to answer personally. When as far as outward. And for those audio only, Zoe's not. She's unmistakably feminine. She's wearing jeans and a sweater, and she's like this question could. We have no idea. We have a neutral, I think, person. Like when you're getting dressed in the morning, like are you like do you have any idea? Like how first of all, the first question is how much is it for other people and how much is it for you? And then the second question is how much of those other people are men if you're heterosexual or yeah then we need a different term, like how many of those other people are
people that I want to fuck.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. She said people that I want to fuck. So, yeah, whatever the word for that is. Because I'm 43, so I'm like, potential suitors? I don't know. I don't know what the term would be.
Many different callers.
I'm like Jane Austen. But yeah. So you got so answer that in any order, in any manner, and feel free to have your answer be a mess and just you individually.
Will probably be a mess. Okay, so like for me, I will go to sleep by myself at night and I will wear lingerie just because I like it. It's 98% for me, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, I got to a point, sorry, babe. My boyfriend isn't particularly into all the, like, lacy frilly stuff, so it's definitely all for me. Like, it got to a point where I was like, all right, fuck you, I'll buy it for myself.
Is this something you would do by yourself, though? Like, if you weren't actively dating, you would wear lingerie to bed?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And it's partially aesthetic, right? It's not just the comfort, it's just like I like the design,
I like the way that I look,
the way
it's fun, it's comfortable, like, depending on what you buy or what you wear. But, like, Yeah.
I feel I can't tell if this like if in like 1993 this was like a fun cute thing for a guy to say, but now I don't know if it's just one of those pig-headed perpetuation things to say. But I feel like if I were a woman, I would like a big part of like what I wore to bed would be like how I looked. But I don't know now that makes me feel like I would. But yeah, but that's I don't know where that gets filed anymore. I'm like I feel like I would wear like Garfield like t-shirts, but I would like pick them. I would want them to fit right, so that I would like, so that I'd look like
this is the
Joe
Garfield
Beth Williams in Poltergeist. Like I'd want to look like Joe Beth Williams in Poltergeist. That's what I was. And I think I feel like I'd like roll around in the bed a little bit and then like you know. And then go to bed. And it wouldn't have to do with like sexuality, but it would have to do with aesthetics.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that would add to my comfort or something.
I mean, it definitely depends, right? Like, not every night I'm gonna like throw on a corset and, and some thigh highs. I'm mostly gonna be in something that's more comfortable.
Nothing's like sleeping in a corset.
Yeah, it's the best, especially if you're going for those like full bone corsets. It's very comfortable.
You wear the actual straight up whalebone, like
I don't.
You don't?
No, but I definitely have friends that have like done the full like bone corsets that are gonna break your ribs if you.
Yeah.
But my head gets flushed with all of these crazy like questions, because the other thing also is like it's not a straight gender dichotomy either, even if there was one there, because then part of the swirling irony of the gender dichotomy would be, there's like an indoctrination of the whole visual thing, and it's like the big thing would be like, okay, if you were a dude that was ripped, if I was Vin Diesel, like do I then wear a dude equivalent of a Garfield shirt like that goes to mid thigh? Like, what does he wear to bed? And is it all for comfort, or is it all? Does he go like, I like the way I look, and it helps me dream better? You know?
I mean, what do you wear to bed? Like,
I try to sleep as little as possible, because I worry that someone will take control of my life while I'm off guard. Depending on who I'm with, I may have pants around my ankles with a laptop on my lap.
That's so funny. I'm reading Augustus by John Williams, and it's about Caesar Augustus Octavius, and he said the same thing. Like he didn't sleep that much because he didn't like the idea that he was wasting that part of his life. Like other people are going to be doing stuff while I'm like.
I try as hard as I can not to sleep, and I get away with it. Like I sleep very little.
Spencer?
But underwear, and like sometimes naked, but it's naughty. Like I feel if I fuck these underwear, and then I'm like I'm naked, and like I'm a little baby in the sheets, I'm a little naked baby.
Spencer, are you a naked sleeper, lingerie sleeper? What do you?
I'm a lingerie sleeper.
Do you care for the frilly garments on a lady, or do you care about that?
No, I don't care about anything.
Spencer's in a bad place, I think.
Well, he's in the worst place because we can't see him when he's at a table. Why? Since we stopped playing D&D, what's the point of him having a table? By the way, why doesn't he just sit up here like
I can flip it if I get mad enough.
All right.
He seemed a little sleepy and like I don't want to say anything that has a value judgment on it.
Yeah.
It's like you were sleepy. You said you were sleepy in the green room.
Oh, I said it.
He's going to flip this table. We have to put more interesting things on the table, so when you flip it, there's like a debris field.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those nights where there's nights where I forget about Spencer, and that's why he doesn't get to say a lot in the show. And then there's tonight I was like, I think Spencer needs some space emotionally, like because I feel like
Well, mostly it's just like I don't have anything to contribute. Like for instance, I don't care about pantyhose and I don't care about lingerie. So what am I gonna?
Where do you come in on coconuts?
I mean, exactly. They're the most mundane thing on the planet. I'd never thought twice about a coconut.
They could fucking kill you, bro.
Yeah.
They could look up coconut deaths right here in Hollywood.
Do you know that more people die of coconut deaths than
ISIS?
Than ISIS.
Yeah.
And 58% of all ISIS deaths are coconut related.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they don't want you to know. A big coconut.
All right, Zoe, but so okay. So sometimes you you will sleep in something that is not necessarily designed for functional comfort, but there's a blurring of the line where it's like, I look good and that makes me feel good, and that like I want to wear that to bed, and it's not even like self-sexual. It's not like you're like masturbating like because you're like, oh, I look so good in this lingerie, I'm going to masturbate and then fall asleep. It's just like I feel comfortable because I feel feminine. And so that right there answers like a big part of my question, which is like because if you were in the morning, then if you were picking your outfit and you were to wear something that had an alluring like vibe to it, a tactile vibe, or like it could very well be then like it's obviously if you could do it in bed for yourself and have it be detached completely from other people's perception, then clearly like there's no question that like sometimes you just want to feel like a certain way, and that I don't know. We're monkeys, so we don't know. We can't detach ourselves from other people's
well, Zoe,
perception.
like you're more maybe like a little more closer to how I am. Like I like dressing up. I like the feeling of putting a suit on. I like the action of tying a tie. Like I like also with lingerie. There's a lot of the fun's got to be fastening a garter, like to a stocking, right?
Right.
Like
right.
that's just like that feels right.
I mean, honestly, in the mornings, like I will like shower, put my undergarments on, and then take my hour to get ready before I get dressed. Like it's something where it's like it's fun for me to dress up, even if it's underneath what I'm wearing, and like I know what I'm wearing throughout the day, even if other people don't. Like it's really not about them.
Right.
You know I love picking up stuff from the dry cleaners, just walking out with a bunch of new shit ready to rock, like, and then you see it and it's in the closet and there's a bag on it, and you take it out of the bag and like I want to put this fucking suit on.
Have you ever stolen someone else's suit?
If I found anybody my size, I fucking would. I mean, I used to steal clothes a long time ago, but that was back when I was just a shoplifter and I didn't have any style at all. Like I didn't even know what my style would have been. But I don't think I'm a thief anymore. But let's just say I went into somebody's like if I woke up, like, remember Alibaba Bunny when Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck tunnel up into like Aladdin's like treasure
they
cave?
took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah, exactly. And then like for me, it wouldn't be gold and the piles of jewels. It would just be like a bunch of Vivienne Westwood suits everywhere. And then I would steal everything. I have dreams. I obsess. Like my general dream at night is a mild anxiety dream about what am I going to pack, what clothes do I have, like what am I bringing?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I'm a little late for the plane or the train or the tour bus or whatever, and it's like, oh no, I don't have the tie clips. Where the fuck are the tie clips? And like it's a mild anxiety dream that permeates like almost like half of my dream state, and it's all sartorial. It's all this clothing shit.
So do you guys? So Zoe, let's draw a line between Zoe/Jeff and me/Spencer, who I lay in bed in whatever I was wearing when I fell into bed. And when Spencer texts me, it means I'm 5 minutes late for work and I have 5 minutes to get ready, so I can only be 15 minutes late for work. And like that, I almost like create scenarios where I taking a shower and caring about what I wear is off the table. I wonder like.
Oh no! For me, it's obsession. Like, I set 5 alarms, so I've got all that time to get that.
I wonder if I'm doing that because. Well, here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if the difference between people who take pleasure in caring about their clothes and people who don't is a matter of experience. Like, it's like, well, if you tried it, you'd love it. If you could just, like in the 80s movies, it's all, the bookish girl's got her glasses on and she's never tried looking like Molly Ringwald, but if she just, and then, you're so insecure. And that's why it's like, that became for us, I think, moving forward from there was like, well, that's a symbol of oppression. Like the idea that we want to be pretty and that like we just crave, but now it's 2016 and it's like, okay, open pool table and fucking Donald Trump's running for president, so let's all just figure out who we are. And in light of that, is clothes people like if I got a taste of what it felt like to care about clothes, would I get slowly sucked in?
No, it's not part of your essence. It's not really.
I don't think so either.
It never has been. It never
I've
would
gotten
be.
married. I cared about clothes a lot that day, and I suffered through every minute of it. You know, it's like it's always going to be for me. It's like going to church or something. Like okay, and then I got to put this on, and I can look in the mirror at the end of the day and go, oh yeah, I guess I can see how people would prefer that. But it's like, and that's also why it took 3 hours instead of 20 minutes.
Right.
And I kind of.
I don't know. Like for me, like at the end of the day, like I said before, it's just kind of like fuck them. Like it's what's up to you. I definitely don't think that like I don't know. It's like you like putting on suits for you.
Yeah.
Right? You like how you look in suits.
This feels like pajamas to me. And pajamas are like little suits. They got little lapels. Pajamas got pockets. What am I going to put in that pocket?
Do you have
I got pajamas with a suit breast
fit a
pocket.
squirrel in there.
Like I'm not gonna put anything in there. I'm not putting business cards in my pajamas.
That's why I feel. See, I love pajamas. I went through a phase when I was working in community. I had a little bit of a nervous breakdown, and I started just coming to work in my pajamas. I think I was just trying to get fired because I was just like, well, if you guys are telling me to stop caring about the show, I'll just come in my pajamas, and that'll look like I'm relaxed while I'm fucking trying to edit the show right. And so I was just like wearing pajamas. And they're like, you wearing pajamas? I'm like, yeah, I'm a pajampian. Like I coined the phrase. I coined it, and I got fired.
just for that play on words.
But I know. I think also because I was insane. But it's like the idea of comfort. Like if it was like oh, these are silk, or like if everyone just wore pajamas. I don't know. Yeah. I could see there's a Venn diagram where all of us are like going like, oh yeah, that's great. I love those Vivienne Westwood pajamas because when you go like this, they don't rip, and they also feel good when you're sleeping, but they look good across a room.
I was like, I like when I was in London doing some shows. There was a Vivienne Westwood store, and thank God there was like a sale going on because it's really expensive, and there was these great, tall, like rail thin gay guys that work there, and they're just like wearing outfits I could never wear because they're way too flashy, but they look awesome in it. And like going in there and trying stuff on, and like that, that's me being the what a girl wants, like that's my montage.
Yeah, what a squirrel wants.
What a squirrel wants. God damn it!
Oh no.
Am I gonna fuck Joseph Scrimshaw tonight? Do you still have the costume?
Oh yeah, actually.
Oh shit, it's on. I'm gonna put a suit on. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I got this awesome suit that I love, and I came out of the thing, and I was like, oh, now we have to find a tie for it. And they're giving me these really flashy ties. It's not my thing. And I was the only guy in the store, and it's all these these great London like sales clerks in a sexy store in Savile Row, and they're showing me these really flashy ties. And so I pick out the one I liked, and the guy's like, I go, what do you think about this? He goes, it's okay if you are in 5th grade. He's like this French guy. I was like, hey man, we can't all dress like you. Yeah. But I have to keep it a little more square than that. To me, then you leave with a big ass bag and you feel like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. It's good.
Right. I had a breakthrough with a guy at I think it was literally it was in New York, and I had to do some kind of show, and it was and I had to run out to one of those Saks Fifth Avenue, or you
had a buyer, like a shopper, like a personal shopper.
Yeah,
right?
or there was a guy that it was a guy that worked at the place, and it was and he was getting frustrated with me because it's what do you want, this and that? And
Dan, real quick, he got what I would love to have is somebody that takes you out and is a personal shopper, and you go out and they pull stuff for you and you try stuff on. They take you from store to store.
Oh, you're thinking of a different thing though. That was a disaster. Yeah. Oh no, there was an emergency where it was I needed I wanted to get a jacket or something for a thing. And I remember the guy getting frustrated because it's he worked in clothing, and there was this barrier there where it was I need a new jacket and I want to look good, but it's when same thing when I go to a haircut place. It's well, I'm not in the business of talking or thinking about my hair, but I'm here for a haircut. So what are we going to do about this? And so there's frustration on both sides, and then there's a syndrome there of you feel as a consumer, if you don't care about your hair or clothes, you feel feel bullied, you feel snobified, like you're like, oh, this person like knows more about hair and clothes and they're judging me. But I think it's just like they just want to know, so I just blurted to the guy at one point. I said, look, I want clothes that no matter where I went in time and space, people would ignore me. They would not be able to tell if I was rich or poor or clean or dirty or from the past or from the future or high status or low status. They would leave me alone. And he was like, oh. And he took me over to a fucking gray jacket. And I was like,
you mean Yves Saint Laurent?
Yeah. He was like, oh, you want to be a fucking generic time traveler?
That's great.
Yeah.
I would love a clothing store that was just called "What Are We Gonna Do About This?" That totally embraced, like, I know I want to do something different, but I just, like, you can just come in weeping and, like, it's okay, we'll help.
Or just a place where, like, you know, like, there's, like, wine, clothes, hair. There's got to be, like, 5 other things in this category where it's, like, every once in a while you run into a person that somehow strikes upon a vibe with you where you don't feel intimidated. And in that moment, you learn 1,000 things. Like, I've eaten in a restaurant where I was like, I just had the fucking balls or whatever, stupidity or highness to go like, look, I don't know anything about wine. Can you tell me what the fuck this is all about? And I've done that before and had the person go like, tell you all about it. And all right, knock it off. I'll take the hash browns. Fuck off. But then like, but there are those moments where you intersect with somebody who's like, oh, you want me to teach you about wine from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. Treat me like a person that wandered off a rocket ship and doesn't know what a glass is and go from there. And sometimes you'll get a hairstylist like that. And sometimes you'll get a person that's like helping you find a shirt like that. And you kind of like, I don't know if you like I walk away from those experiences going like, oh my God, humanity has a chance because I still don't care about jackets, but I no longer, there's this whole world where I thought it had everything to do with like, you're either smart or stupid or you're hurting someone or a victim, and it's actually just people who care about jackets and people who don't. And I met a person today who was in the right mood, and we talked, like we made a friendship, and I got a jacket.
I have knowledge, and I'll share some with you. It's not a judgment whether you have it or I don't. It's just hey, here's some knowledge. So there should be I think there would be a huge market for like, well, you know, look how big those that series of books, Blank for Dummies. It's like it's like take that principle and just go. Like, and that, like, this is a clothes store where, what are we gonna do about this? I guess I just took 10 minutes to repeat what your pitch was. Yeah, like you, like a place where you felt comfortable walking in and going, I don't know, man. Yeah, come on, help.
So
just help me.
When you were a little girl, like, did you always like know what you wanted to wear? What you were gonna wear to school or out?
Yeah, I was a little bit out of it growing up. So I had like my phases, but every phase I knew exactly what I wanted to wear and like how I wanted to look and how I felt comfortable. I actually on the drive up here today, I'm from Orange. We had a conversation about my hair because your
hair's badass, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks. We had a conversation because
I want to nestle inside of your hair.
You know what? After I'll give you the opportunity.
All right.
It'll be good.
Joseph and I are going to get into like a squirrel.
It is like a nest. It is. It's like a nest. So we'll take that time. But about how I went through like a large period of time where I was like just red hair, and I was like fire engine bright red hair, and I was like, this is me, and I like attached myself to that, and that was like what I was just most comfortable with, and like how like I knew that was me, and that was like a mistake. And I had another 2 years where I still had the bright red hair, but I also had a mohawk, and nice. So it was like, but I was like, this is fucking me. Like Do
you have any idea why? What signal you got that made you go on the red kick?
No. I do know that one day
Dan just heard redhead and now he's going on this.
No, what I heard was like a common cry of somebody who's just like, I have a history of like I would just pick random shit as I was growing up, and I would go like, well, I gotta have something.
I straight up had like a mohawk, and like you guys see, I have real curly hair, And so I just buzzed the sides of my head and just had like a weird ass curly mohawk for 2 years. And it happened because my friend one day was like, I'd like to shave my head. And I was like, that's a good idea. I went home and I was like, hey mom, break out the clippers. And she was like, all right, let's do it. And so I showed
How
up
tall was the mohawk?
I mean, it grew. Like my hair was about this.
Like, at its height, like how high was the mohawk off your head?
Well, it got to a point where I couldn't wear it like straight up anymore because I wasn't like gelling it up. I was just letting it do whatever. So I would braid it back.
I got you.
So it'd just be like one braid down the center of my head.
Dig it.
Which, yeah, very, very odd. It never got like super high. And when it got, I had bangs too. So it was like a pompadour above the mohawk. Yeah, whatever you're thinking, that's what it looked like. It was awful.
So then this all leads inexorably to like did you have an epiphany at any point of like, I don't know, were you pursuing things the wrong way when you were going from this to this to this to this, like Don Cheadle in Boogie Nights? He's like, I'm a cowboy, I'm a robot, I'm a this, and that. He had to find his look, or did you, or are we seeing you in another phase, or did you have like a Zion that you came home to?
I don't know. Like I really don't, because I think I definitely, like, my motto through high school was like, when I'm 80, I just want to look back and be like, yeah, I did that shit. And
like every single thing. Would you like to see would you like to see yourself change? Because a lot of people
like when
look
I
at
die,
themselves.
I want a montage of just all my bad hair choices at my funeral.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that happens to all of us anyway, and like it's better to embrace that. Like too many people from my generation are like, oh, these embarrassing like, oh, the things, this was in back then, I look like the Ramones and all this stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but you didn't know. I mean, like, and also, like, what is your hair? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
good. It's like, you're just like, I want those coffee mugs from every gift shop that is like every 3 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I definitely, like, right now, it's just kind of like doing my thing. This is what's appropriate. I'm, like, a new adult, so I'm going into, like, this is what will get me okay in life without me, like, getting in trouble for my bosses. And I'm sure I've been kind of talking about reverting back to like the bright hair. So I have a bottle of pink dye in my bathroom right now. That
when you make a change, do you know? Is there a signal? Does it come from inside or does it come from outside? Do you see something like a billboard or something and go like?
Yeah, most of the time I'm like scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, that's pretty cool, and I'll just like that's how the pink bottle of dye ended up in my closet. As I saw like a black afro or a black girl with a pink afro, and I was like, oh, that's mine. That's mine next. So that's
So this dude right now is you kind of walking the line of being respectable but still a little funky.
yeah, like it was, my hair's dark naturally, and so it was dark. I bleached my hair to put in the pink dye, and then I was like, nah, I dig it. Let's keep it for a while. So like it really, there's never an opportunity for like, or there's never a point where I change and it's like really planned. It's just kind of like whatever.
To make it
happening.
pink, you have to get it way more light than that.
Yeah.
So you just
Real
gotta
light.
bleach the hell out of it then.
Yeah, it's gonna be a process.
Do you feel like it affects what you do? Like if you went pink and it was a little bit more shocking, do you feel like I would maybe do some things with pink hair that I didn't when I was not pink hair?
I mean, I think maybe with some, I'm just kind of fucking crazy. So like I'll do I'll do whatever anyways.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, I don't think it
Would
really.
you talk to Hitler about pink hair?
Yeah, you know what? I might be like, dude, if you embraced yourself a little bit more, maybe dyed your hair pink.
Oh,
every once in a
man.
while.
Just the
You might-
mustache.
you
Just the
might-
mustache.
That's a good choice. You might be a little happier.
What would Hitler have done differently with a pink mustache?
Like everybody, I mean, people probably would have laughed at him a little bit more.
Oh, you don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, don't you guys thank you for bringing that up. We're going to wrap up the show. I'd like to wrap it up with this thought. Because people keep comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, and then other people keep going, he's nothing like Hitler. Don't do that. I just would like to say, as a closing thought, I think the idea of comparing a politician to Hitler is to get a fucking jump on it as early as possible. I see no fucking punishment for doing it prematurely. I think that's a good gun to jump. I don't think Hitler, he wasn't like during the primaries going, let's kill 500,000 Jews. He didn't like ramp it up. He fucking got elected and then the shitstorm started because it was, I don't know what that weird speech
The Shiza started.
He thrusts his fist against the speech impediment, and then he eats his dick. Look. Fascism is an opportunistic infection in a country that's been destabilized economically and culturally. Like the clowns that rise up that get everybody's angry attention. They typically have funny hair and silly mannerisms. They're rodeo clowns. It's good to yes. He's Hitler. He is exactly Hitler. He's precisely Hitler.
Cliffhanger. Let's hear for Zoe, everybody. Thank you so much for coming up. Awesome.
Cliffhanger.
Joseph Scrimshaw.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Listen to his Feral Audio podcast, Obsessed.
Spencer Crittenden. I'm Jeff Davis. Your mayor is Dan Harmon. Go check out those non-video games, Rick and Morty, whatever the hell they are.
Come back next week. The world will still be here.
Oh, also, Nick Seatman for writing that awesome song about the Radiohead Nightblade song. That was absolutely magnificent. All right, everybody, drive fast, take chances. We love you.
Feral Audio.